Sintra is one of the most famous day trips from Lisbon, but getting there and visiting the wrong way could completely change your experience. Most travelers either rent a car when they shouldn't, or show up too late and spend the entire day stuck in crowds. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to plan Sintra the smart way, what's actually worth it, what to skip, and how to avoid the mistakes that ruin the experience. Hey, my name is Nick. I'm a travel planning strategist and videographer helping navigators make smarter, better informed decisions before they book their trip. You can find me and more travel guides at my website, navigatornick.com, where I show you how to get the most bang for your travel buck. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to plan the perfect Sintra day trip. Sintra sits about 40 minutes from Lisbon by train, tucked into a lush mountain range that overlooks the Atlantic Ocean. For centuries, Portuguese royalty built palaces and estates here because the cooler mountain climate made it a perfect escape from the city. Today, Sintra is one of the most popular day trips from Lisbon, and for good reason. You've got colorful palaces, medieval castles, forest gardens, and dramatic viewpoints. For most travelers, the best way to get to Sintra is by train. It's cheap, easy, and runs frequently throughout the day. Step number 1 in getting to Sintra. Start at the Rocio station. The main train station in Sintra leaves from Rocio station, right in central Lisbon. The Rocio station is easy to reach by metro, Uber, or walking if you're staying in the Baixa or Chiado neighborhood. Step number 2 in buying your train ticket. Usually around 2 to 3 euros each way, and that's why Portugal is such a value travel destination. You can buy train tickets to Sintra at 2 places. At the ticket machines themselves, generally with staff willing to help you, or at the ticket counter when it's open. If you arrive before the service staff, make sure to give yourself an extra 10 to 15 minutes to learn how to use the self-vending machines. Step number 3, the train ride to Sintra. The train takes about 40 minutes to Sintra and leaves roughly every 20 to 30 minutes. Once you hop on the train, take it easy and enjoy the ride. Step number 4, arriving in Sintra. Once you arrive at Sintra station, you'll funnel out into the street and hang a right, because even though you've made it to Sintra city center, you still need to get up the mountain to the palaces. Just like Lisbon and Porto, Sintra is not flat either. Therefore, did I mention to bring your best walking shoes? So now that you've made it to the Sintra city center, you're gonna look for bus 434. Bus 434 runs a loop that connects Sintra town, the Moorish castle, and PENA Palace. This is the easiest option for most travelers, and I'd recommend getting a one-way ticket instead of a round trip, because the idea is that you'll be getting off the bus at Sintra's highest point, which is PENA Palace, and walking downhill for most of the day. This is the colorful palace you see in almost every photo of Sintra. It sits on top of the mountain and looks like something straight out of a Disney movie. The highlight is the brightly colorful exterior, the architecture, and viewpoints around the palace walls. Navigator Nick tip, book the earliest time slot possible, and I'll leave a link in the description below and also a QR code on the screen to purchase tickets in advance. In high season, tickets do sell out and lines are very, very long. I'd recommend buying tickets at least 3 weeks to 1 month before your trip, and even sooner if you want the first time slot of the day. Inside PENA Palace, you'll see royal rooms, terraces with views, and fancy wallpapered interiors. And honestly, that didn't sound interesting to me, so I skipped looking around the inside. I've seen enough of these tourist attractions and understand it's a staged representation of what it used to be. The Moorish castle is just a short hike down from the PENA Palace, and honestly was my favorite attraction in Sintra. This fortress dates back to the 8th century when the Moors controlled the region. It feels more like a scenic hike than a traditional castle visit. With the forest walls mostly still intact and an abundance of trees and greenery inside and outside of the walls, it's really a must-see in Sintra for first-time visitors. Spend some time when you get up to the top to enjoy the panoramic views of PENA Palace, Sintra town, and the surrounding forest. The Moorish Castle is open daily from 9:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Last ticket sales and admission are at 5:30 p.m. Note that tickets do sell out, so I would recommend booking tickets in advance for around $15 per person. If you've seen the photos of an epic staircase descending down to earth, that's Quinta da Regaleira. This estate is famous for its underground tunnels, mysterious well, lush gardens, beautiful flowers, and its 5-story palace. However, the initiation well is the star attraction. It's a spiral staircase that drops deep underground and looks something from a fantasy novel. When you get down to the bottom of the well, have a look up. You won't be disappointed. And the adventure doesn't stop there. At the bottom of the well is where you'll find a series of underground tunnels. I won't ruin the surprise, but it's not for those who are claustrophobic or scared of the dark. Quinta da Regaleira feels more like an adventure garden than just another palace. And as far as palaces go, I really enjoyed the ornate details like the gargoyles and the Gothic architecture. Tickets to book Skip the Line are around $30 per person, and I'll leave the link in the description below and the QR code on the screen. Right in the heart of Sintra is the National Palace. The National Palace is one of the best preserved medieval royal palaces in Portugal. Unlike the colorful and dramatic PENA Palace, this one feels more grounded in history. It was continuously used by Portugal royalty for over 500 years. Inside, you'll find a fascinating mix of architectural styles, including Gothic, Manueline, and Moorish influences, along with beautifully preserved tilework that tells stories of Portugal's past. The National Palace offers a completely different experience from Sintra's other attractions and is less crowded. Instead of just scenic viewpoints, you're walking through real royal living spaces. Tickets are just $15 to enter the National Palace of Sintra, but many people skip this attraction. But if you have extra time at the end of the day, make sure to stop in. Last but certainly not least is the Montserrat Palace. The Montserrat Palace is one of Sintra's most underrated gems, and honestly, one of the most unique architectural sites in all of Portugal. Built in the 19th century as a summer residence, the palace blends Gothic, Moorish, and even Indian influences into a design that feels almost otherworldly. Inside, you'll find intricate stone carvings, delicate archways, and a stunning central dome that filters light in a way that feels more like a cathedral than a home. Unlike PENA Palace, which is bold and colorful, Montserrat is refined, detailed, and quietly impressive. Visitors should absolutely consider Montserrat if they plan on spending a night in Sintra, because it offers something most of Sintra doesn't, which is space and tranquility. The surrounding botanical gardens are massive and filled with exotic plants from around the world, creating a peaceful, almost hidden oasis away from all the Sintra crowds. It's the kind of place where you can slow down, explore at your own pace, and actually enjoy the experience instead of rushing through it. And for most travelers, it ends up being one of the most memorable attractions in Sintra. And here's where it gets a little interesting, because joining a small guided tour usually includes transportation, palace tickets, and a guide explaining the history of Portugal and Sintra. Tours are definitely convenient if you don't want to think about logistics, you enjoy meeting local people and learning more about the history of Portugal and Sintra, and I've truly seen some amazing tour guides throughout Portugal. So if you want to sit back and relax while enjoying your day, scan the QR code on the screen or click the link in the description for more information. The biggest mistake I see travelers make is trying to see everything in one day. And if you try to see them all in one day, you'll spend most of your time in line, buses, taxis, or walking, as each of these historic places are spread across the mountains. Navigator Nick tip: choose 2 or 3 major attractions and enjoy them slowly. And last but not least, I definitely recommend not driving to Sintra, as parking is very limited and the roads are very narrow and twisty. So if you're planning Sintra, this is exactly what I would do in one day. In the morning, grab the train from Lisbon, take bus 434 to the top, and get started at the PENA Palace. I definitely recommend being there right at 9 a.m., right when it opens. Most visitors spend about an hour at PENA Palace, and when you're done, go ahead and take the short walk down to the Moorish castle. Have a walk around the castle walls, and maybe grab a mid-morning snack. In the afternoon, visit Quinta del Regaleira. Visitors spend anywhere from 1 to 3 hours here, as sometimes there can be a long line for visiting the well. If your feet aren't throbbing by now and you have some time, visit Sintra town and grab a coffee or pastry from one of the bakeries. Planning your day like this in Sintra gives you all the highlights while not rushing. As I said in the beginning, Sintra is not a walkable town like people think it is. The attractions sit high in the mountains and they're spread apart. So your options are taking bus 434, which is the most common, Uber or Bolt, and the tuk-tuks. So the question is Sintra worth it? And I think absolutely yes, it is. Sintra is one of the most unique destinations in Europe, and it's only a short train ride from Lisbon. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it helped you. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below. Please like the video and subscribe. And until next time, happy travels and keep on navigating.